Matt and Monica, thanks for being on Heart of the City.
Thank you for having us.
I'm so glad you guys are here.
We haven't been on a podcast in a long time.
It's been many years.
Yeah.
But you host a podcast.
Yeah, we host it, but
you're
being a
very
guest.
familiar, just not as guests.
Very different.
Well, I love that I'm making you a little nervous then as you're in the opposite seat. You can remember how it feels, you know?
You weren't even nervous, though. So that
You don't
doesn't
know
count.
that. I'm
nervous
just a
at
good
all.
faker.
Yeah.
No, she was like, huh.
Oh my gosh. Well, if people don't know, Matt and Monica Smith are co-owners of REV, which is a holistic wellness center focusing on neural integration and a lot of really cool ways of wellness that we're going to get into today. So I'm super excited.
I love how you introduced that neural integration. Hit it spot on.
Hit it, right?
Crushed it.
Well, I want you guys to actually tell me what you do in one sentence. One of you take it.
One sentence.
One sentence. Just hit us
You go
with it.
first, and then I'll follow you up.
That's really hard. We facilitate true healing. That's my sentence.
I was going to say we help people heal by helping them connect to their inner intelligence that lives within their nervous system. It's a kind of a run-on sentence.
Hey,
but-
it's okay. There was like colons and semicolons
Yeah.
and
Semicolon, dashes,
M
yeah, for
dashes.
sure.
I love it. That was good. That was good. So you are helping people heal.
Yeah.
Okay, so why is this work important?
So rhetorical. Everyone needs to process. It's not just healing, right? Like people think healing like I have a disease, I need to heal. But even people who don't have a disease or any symptoms, there's still more to experience in their life, to let go of from their past, to process who they were to who they are now. Like, I think everyone can benefit. We always say that, like it's for everyone under the moon, basically, because it's so universal what the nervous system does. And that's the medium that we work with.
And why this is important to us to kind of go a different route with it, because we both, Monica and I, we had health issues growing up. She went down, she had quite a few more health issues, went down traditional medical routes, looked at medications, and nothing really changed it for her, changed it for me. I was dealing with debilitating pain and anxiety. And this intro into what we do in chiropractic school, it was that 1% shift away from looking outside of us to looking inside of us. And like why this work is so important is because every single person has the capacity to heal. And I think that we've been brainwashed over the years to not believe that. And that's through many different avenues of why that may be. So why this is important is because I just don't think many people truly know that they have the ability to change their life.
They've got it.
That's our message over the last 10 years.
It's so cool. Okay, so you mentioned that you're chiropractors by trade, but like I know the backstory, but tell me, like, let's go back to the mission trip. Tell me how you guys were even introduced to this method, how it started.
And even before that,
Okay.
I'll have him share his, I'll share mine first, of how we even went to school. Because going to chiropractic school is you wouldn't go to chiropractic school to do what we're doing necessarily.
Yeah.
So I got exposed to traditional chiropractic when I was 21. I was opening some guy's office, and just the concept of the body healing itself, like how everything is connected, the nervous system, it changed my life. And it was this deep truth that, resounded within my entire being. And I was like, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life. Like, why don't people know this stuff? Like, it didn't make any sense. And so I helped him open his practice. I really just began to, get adjusted myself and experience that.
Traditional adjustments. Yeah.
And actually with like, working on like the arcs of the spine and like weights, like very traditional. And if anyone's come to Rev, that's like, whoa, not at all what we do. And it got to this point where I was like, okay, I feel like there's something missing here. Like, why is the same part of my spine always being adjusted and it's going right back out? Like, if my body's self-healing, self-maintaining, why is it still doing that? I didn't understand. I knew there was like a layer for me that wasn't being communicated, or maybe someone didn't know how to portray it. And so I knew that when going to school, I just trusted that I would find that answer for myself. And that's halfway through school is when we went on this mission trip, which I didn't actually want to go on. I was kind of resistant to it. We had met before that, and then we got married 3 months later. We went on this mission trip, and we met our mentor. It was a bunch of different doctors facilitating for the students, like with the students. And there was one guy who was practicing so different than everyone else. Everyone else, I mean, there's a line down the street with people just laying on the table, trusting that these students are going to just help heal them. It's like a beautiful thing, but also full trust, because some people don't know how to adjust at that point, halfway through school.
Yeah, your students.
Many people did not know how to adjust.
Most people.
Including Matt. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was actually pretty good at the rack and the crack.
That was his jam.
That's my thing. Look at me. I mean, I could move those things.
But when I saw one of the docs working lighter touch, I knew I kind of had been exposed to energy work before, so I kind of knew what that was. Something about it, again, instant truth. I was like, there's something here for me.
Calling you.
And that's kind of the rabbit hole I just went down and never left, basically. But he thought it was weird at first.
Okay.
It was so, I mean, it wasn't so weird because I had been exposed. It was an instant truth for her. It was more of like, and I've said this before, like, especially 10 plus years ago, who I was 10 years ago is not the same person I am today. But 10 plus years ago, working with energy had a stigma to it. It still probably has a stigma today.
There's a skepticism there.
100%.
Yeah.
It's now been more scientifically validated in how energy gets transferred, how we can, tap into our energy, how energy moves in the body, which is really amazing that it's fast forward 10 years and we have all that information. But at that time, we were on the humanitarian trip. I saw this work, and again, being exposed to it before, and I hate saying this, but it's just the truth. People that did that style, from my perspective, my perceptual lens, they were tree hugger energy, right? They were no shoes, being out in nature all the time, smelled a little bit like BO, love those people, still love those people.
As your wife has no shoes on.
Well, I do. I don't now I'm not
I
like,
know,
something too.
I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't cut that part out. But it was more of a certain energy that wasn't me. That wasn't my style. So I didn't resonate
It
with
didn't attract you.
it. It didn't attract me, right? I wasn't like disgusted by it. I was just like, okay, that's what those people do. And then I see this guy very gently working with people. And again, we're 2 of 50 students with 5 chiropractors, and this was just one of the guys. The other 4 guys were doing traditional chiropractic and different avenues. And I saw him doing it, and the first time I saw it, I was like, this guy's not one of those guys, like, what a quack, right?
Yeah.
And then we're on the trip for 7 days, and, I find out he's a 7-time Ironman athlete. He's a 100-mile ultra racer,
Now you're
endurance
interested.
athlete.
Now he's like,
a philanthropist, a very
wow.
successful business person. I'm like, okay, he's not a quack. He's not a weirdo. Let me kind of figure out what's going on. And
this guy's impressive. Yeah.
It was very impressive, right? And not that he told me that. It's just I kind of find that out along the way. And I was like, okay, he's not a weirdo, and he seems to have his shit together. Like, let me learn a little bit more about it. And that was just the door opening for us to go in. Again, being married to her only 3 months at the time, I'm like, oh, she's really into it. I should probably get into it as well.
Okay,
I don't know
for
how this is
better,
gonna work.
for worse.
I need to be better.
Yeah.
and I will say traditional chiropractic, like I used to have an autoimmune disease, like 12 different prescription medications daily.
Wow.
Traditional chiropractic was what really like supported me at the beginning of that.
Yeah.
Like getting off all those meds, like understanding my body can heal itself, like really reconstructing the story that I had been told basically, or deconstructing to reconstruct. But then through the work that we do, it's what like a lot of people are like, I need to heal. Okay, I'm healed of this disease. There's so much still below that we can tap into and process. And that's what has changed my life, like 15 years basically, right? That's what's changed everything for me. Unwinding so much. And that's what's available to everyone. It's just not communicated.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing that you had a chiropractor still that introduced you to it, I did not necessarily, that had a holistic view. And there's 2 different ways to look at the body and healing. You can look at it holistically as an entirety, or mechanistically, like, hey, you have shoulder pain, let's only look at shoulder. Hey, you have liver issues, let's only look at the liver.
Interesting.
Every cell, every muscle, every organ, every tissue is connected, right?
Yeah.
From the top of your head to the bottom of your toes. So it was through this process, you got introduced a little bit, but then there was still that little bit of a disconnect. When we saw this, we started being interested in it. And just like anything, you try something out. And that's what a lot of people that go through our process, like, we don't try to convince them day one. And we didn't do that with you or anyone else that's come in.
No.
We're like, hey, give this 30 days.
Yeah.
And you start going within, you start feeling shifts. It's like, you can't explain it necessarily, but like, I am different. And that's what it was for me. Like, be open, like, oh, this is actually connecting me to myself. And that's what's going to help me. And then obviously do that over a period of time, transformations begin to happen.
So cool. Okay, so like, what are the most common symptoms people come in to Rev with?
I would say anxiety is probably the biggest.
Okay.
Anxiety, depression. Of course, we get neck pain, not as much anymore, back pain. Some people just come for sleep issues. Some people just come. So most people, it's the last resort. I will say that. I would say
They've tried
85%,
so many other things.
they have tried everything, traditional, medical
Do you wish
model,
that was different?
allopathic. What'd you say?
Do you wish that was different?
Yeah.
I would love it, but at this point, I'm just grateful they come, and I understand because I was that way as well. Like I tried everything because that's all I knew.
It's mainstream.
Allopathically, and anyone's told on the TV, the movies growing up. That's the only thing we were
Go see the doctor.
programmed with. Yeah, of course. Like A plus B equals C.
Yeah.
But then when C doesn't equate to the healing, that's when you look outside of that. And so I totally, actually, we understand why we are the last resort. But then some people feel like they're just stuck in their life and they see people around them who've had great success with coming and their lives are changing and they just want more out of their life. So I think that's a smaller percentage. But anyone's welcome. I mean,
beautiful either way.
As long as they find their way. Yeah.
And it's easier to make the decision when you're in pain, right?
Yeah,
like when you have neck pain, back pain, headaches, low energy.
Rather than being proactive.
Yeah.
Most people
Pain's
are reactive.
a big motivator. Yeah.
So we meet people where they're at, whether they have a lot of symptoms going on, and like it's not necessarily easier or better or worse or whatever it may be. But when they have that stuff going on, it's like the first initial offloading, like, oh,
So
wow,
rewarding.
like even just a little less headache pain. Someone's had headaches for decades. They came in a few months ago and within weeks, like she didn't have those same headaches. Like that's life changing, right? And
Absolutely.
so we definitely get a lot of people with symptoms because we are chiropractors and they still find us. And then they kind of go through the reviews and say like, oh, they're a little different. But we just had someone today that came in. I did an initial consult with them. And she has some stuff building up, but she's also really aware that her nervous system's out of balance. Like she literally said those words, like, I just feel out of balance. I feel like my capacity is smaller. And so it is really cool now doing this in Chattanooga for almost a decade. Like we're kind of getting the name, like people kind of know like, they do things a little bit differently and they get great results. So now it's more people like, I just want to experience more of life. Yeah. And curious, but also just like, I just want to be able to have a bigger bandwidth. Like I want to be able to do more of the things, like they got kids, they got career, they got family, just to be able to have that capacity without these old programs running the show.
I feel like I resonate with that. Like when I came to you guys, it's funny that, I mean, I, for one, wasn't one that came in and was like, my nervous system is out of whack. Help me. I was like,
I thought that's exactly what you said.
What's the nervous system? Like, can you explain it, please? So don't feel bad if you don't know at all what they're talking about. It's such a beautiful like education process and everyone has their own journey and story, which I think is wonderful. So, I mean, it's just cool that you guys see such a gamut. Okay. So was it hard to bring such an out of the box wellness method to like a small southern city?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about that.
And no.
Okay. Yeah.
I would say I'm so grateful for what we did. And I'm like chest bumping myself 10 years ago for all the work we did.
We got to split screen that.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Exactly.
It was a lot. We didn't have much money. We didn't really have loans. And so we had to, we just had a passion in our hearts, basically, and had to put food on the table kind of thing. So that's kind of the situation we were in. And Chattanooga, within 20 minutes of being here, felt like our home.
Wow.
And so for me, it was like everything added up. And I'm like, we got to put our fucking heads down and just let people know who we are and what we provide. Because once they know, of course they would come. And it's so easy to come to us. I was thinking about this the other day.
It's so easy.
I come, I do my initial consult. Yeah. That's like an hour long. I get adjusted during that time. After that, I come, I lay down on the table. My life has changed.
Okay. I honestly have thought about this too. This is the lowest buy-in, wellness thing you can do for yourself. You're literally going to get 30 minutes of rest. Okay, bye. It's so weird. It's like, what?
We don't ask a lot.
No, it's pretty low entry point.
To me, it's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, there's a lot more going on than just that. But to the consumer, that is what it feels like a lot of times.
Yeah.
I'm not nervous. I'm not stressed about coming. I'm looking forward to it. It's such a moment of, solace in my day and my week, whatever that looks like.
But I think at the beginning, we had to really hone in on the education component of it.
Yeah.
Because if we were just having people come in, lay on the tables, and we do what we do, they run out the back door and be like, that's weird. But you have to understand why we're doing what we're doing and understand about your nervous system. You don't even need to understand vibration and energy to to, get it basically. But that's the thing that was the biggest thing. And I think that a lot of people who maybe practice similar to what we do, maybe they aren't as good about communicating that because they haven't been taught, but that's why it doesn't succeed.
Or what's interesting is maybe others that do what you do don't need to because they're in areas like Canada or Europe or places or California. But it's it's kind of beautiful that it forced you guys to have to really lean into that education piece, which is I think why you're so successful. I mean, you get your why out there and you hit it hard. And people, people become clear on what you do once they come.
A few years ago, I felt like I was being lazy because I thought about how we opened up our practice the first 2 years. We were doing a class about once a week for about 2 to 3 years in our office.
Wow.
So do the numbers on that. It's 150.
Every
and then going
night during the week.
And also
all the networking.
I'm a very a people person. I like being out in front of people. And I was always, and I've shared this before, I had the drug dealer mentality, just get them in, give them a taste and let them experience for themselves. And they'll be like, what the heck was that? I kind of want to come back again. And so energetically, I was almost headlocking people to come in. And a lot of those people didn't stick around necessarily because that was from a lower place, lower frequency. But I do think that it helped us to get our name out there enough. And the education piece was so important because it was Brit. And I almost feel like we did it because we were still trying to and again, we're going to chiropractic school. We're learning this and we're practicing it with, people that we're, working through the end of program with, we're going to chiropractic school with other students. They're also what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But kind of is working. But you live in a bubble when you're there. You don't know how something's going to work in the real world when you apply it to an actual business and people are actually paying you for those services. So the first 2 years was more of the validation of oh, it does work. This works.
Yeah.
And this is good. This is really good. And so since then, it's more so just coming from a place of we love what we do. The people that give it that time to really see the changes and resonate with it, they see transformation. So now it's a lot less of needing to convince people of anything. It's more so this is what we got. This is what we think is going to happen.
Yeah.
Are you ready to rock and roll? And they can choose from there.
That's wild. So what do you say to the people who are kind of skeptical and like the data or the analytics in order to believe in the healing?
Well, funny you say that. We're actually doing an Aura Ring study right now, which I'm so
I saw that
excited
actually.
about.
I'm pumped.
So this whole time we have amazing, actually subjective data.
Testimonials.
But also on our intake forms, we started kind of tracking people's answers about emotional balance, physical tension, that on a scale of 0 to 10, basically. And so within 30 days, we see those numbers jump significantly. But again, that's subjective. So to have the Aura Ring, I'm really interested to see already what's happening. We had one person come in yesterday, and during her session, she lifted up her hand and she was like, look, so do you have an Aura Ring? Okay, do you know when it's red?
Yeah.
You're sleeping? So when she lifted her hand up, it was red. She's like, it thinks I'm sleeping right now.
It's such a relaxed
that's
state.
what I'm so excited to see, the restore.
I know that you're because your program you're doing with Aura Rings, it's for people who haven't been coming, right? It's brand new.
Blank
so,
slate.
but I mean, I notice my biggest thing that I really track on my Aura Ring are my stress levels. And I do notice such a difference on the days and weeks that I come.
Yeah.
And it shows such deep periods of restoration.
Did you have that before you started coming? Or is this after?
I need to check. I think it's after.
I
think I
so
got
too,
it around Christmas.
I think you would have said something about that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that would have been really interesting to see before.
Yeah, so crazy.
But for the people who, what would you say to the people who don't, who need, the analytical mind, the left brain?
I have a unique perspective on it because I just always think if I had a healing, I don't care what the a double blind placebo study would be, but I do know there are people that need that. I think that those style of people, I think it's a great way to analyze, make sure whatever, and that's a different style. But you can't base your life and make decisions on your life just because one thing says something because the science says something. Because I think we all know that science is constantly evolving, science is constantly changing. Now there is, like I said, 10 years ago versus today, heart rate variability, understanding getting into theta brain states, understanding vagal tone and the vagus nerve. These are becoming way more mainstream. But with any of those things, the ability to get it as a double-blind placebo study, it almost has to be too mechanical, where with what we do, it's so dynamic. Every single human being is so different. You have been through different things than your husband, Mark, than anyone else in the world. And so we're going to work with you in a different way than anyone else that comes in there. And so we have to be super present with that. And so from my perspective, who needs that or why they need it. I get it. I understand. And also, if you do enough research and you look into stuff about increasing the vagus nerve activity, increasing your parasympathetic response, you're going to see enough data out there to be able to be like, oh, this actually could probably do something really good for my health and well-being.
Cool. And honestly, like, what's the hurt in trying it?
That's what we just say. Just give it 30 days.
Seriously.
But you have to commit. It's not like you can get one session and be like, here I am, everything's done. It's not like you work out and all of a sudden you have muscle mass that you wanted. Yeah, it's not like that. Nothing's like that. No. You don't push a button. So we just say, give it 30 days and you will absolutely know if this is a place for you.
And the 30 days thing is like, you know, Jane could come in and Sarah could come in, but Jane, when she was 5 years old, had an extreme trauma, an extreme challenge. And Sarah had something happen when she was 20 something years old.
Totally.
And like their systems could respond so differently. So Sarah may see like these tremendous physical changes in 30 days. Jane doesn't experience those 30-day changes of a physical standpoint, but emotionally she feels better regulated. And I've had people that have come in for pain. I always love this. People come in for pain and that's the only thing that they're looking for. Their pain is maybe 10% better. It's different. Usually see changes, but mental clarity, their sleep, their reaction to their spouse or their loved ones is completely different. And they're like, oh yeah, I don't care about the pain. I feel like, so
wait,
good.
I didn't even know I needed these life changes, but here we are.
Exactly.
So like to say like, if you do something over 36 days, this is going to happen to you. That's impossible when it comes to like the inner workings of somebody's own life and connecting to those things and integrating our past. Like everyone's unique and dynamic.
Wow. That's so cool. Okay, Monica, I want to talk about you stayed home for several years after you guys started the business to raise your kids.
Yes.
And so how did you know? What'd you say?
Thank you for raising those kids.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for saying thank you.
Wow, you guys are so nice. When did you know it was time to come back? How'd you know?
This is really interesting question. You sent it to me and I was like, oh my gosh, I just haven't revisited this in a while. So we moved to Chattanooga in March. I was pregnant with Rocky. We moved in January. We opened REV in March. Rocky was born in July.
Wow.
So I was about 4 months pregnant, basically, I think, when we were opening it, as I recall. And I just thought that I would be back, within, 3 months, 6 weeks, 3 months. I didn't know exactly when the time would be, but our plan was to switch shifts. So I would have the morning shift on Monday. He would be with Rocky. Then we would switch. That was kind of like
your game plan.
And as that time was coming, 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, I just had this feeling like, that's not what I'm supposed to do, which was really, really difficult for someone who has an expectation, for someone who has put their soul into a business and then to step back. And it was for me like a dark night of the soul that year, I would say, when I took a step back and he was the main one there and I was the main one at home, and to see him shine and for me not to be seen shining was a huge healing opportunity for me to heal my ego, my need for validation, even to be having doctor in front of my name, like Dr. Matt and Monica, it was a big moment for me because I had worked so hard for that. And then to die to that in that way was, I would say, I feel so whole and complete now being in practice that I'm just so grateful for that journey, as hard as it was.
Wow.
And then I came back, I don't even know, 2 years now?
2 years now, yeah.
So then I kind of just discounted it. It's like, maybe
you stayed home for how long?
I was home for about 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
I would say, because then Lion was born.
Yeah.
I was home. And then I was running a business at home, working with women to detox and reduce their body burden and stuff like that. So I still had this purpose that we all have this purpose that we have. Doesn't matter the avenue.
Totally.
But at some point I just felt this calling to be back, and I had unfinished business at REV, and I was like I feel like I'm the mother. That was my baby. And so to come back the last 2 years, I feel like I'm a completely different practitioner.
Wow.
And the space I hold and who I be within that practice, I'm so grateful for that space and the healing that happened during that time to now be where I am. And it's I just feel so on fire, so complete, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I
feel
always
that.
was.
Yeah,
But
totally.
yeah.
But like, I just really, I admire the fact that you listened to your gut despite it really not being what you wanted on the surface.
Yeah.
It was more like you listened to what you know you had to do and what
Yeah.
you needed versus what you wanted to be doing. And I
Yeah.
think that's really huge because I
Yeah.
think, you know, whether it's staying home with kids or any big decision in life, I think we're faced with that. Like we know we have a gut calling us one way,
Yeah.
but I do really sense that you're like this maternal figure now in your practice, and it is a really beautiful presence that you have in the space. And I think you're right. Like you wouldn't have that without those 5 years at home.
No.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
As cliche as it sounds, we really believe that everything works out exactly the way it's designed to. In those several years that she was out, I was the one going out there for the most part. And then a few years back, Lauren and Erica, my sister and sister-in-law, joined in with us. And it was really interesting. Like Rev would not be where we are even without her being in the physical space if it wasn't for her. She was there from the beginning. All of our ways that we communicate, every event we did, she was always a part of it. Even though she was with her 2 kids, she was always there.
Totally.
And I never felt her out of it. And it was interesting dealing with her, feeling that like, oh, I'm not a part of it. Like, but you're a part of it and you're doing this. But if you fast forward to 2 years ago when she came back in, and she came back in with that 7+ years of like sizzling, sitting, going deep within.
She was almost like the lioness re-entering.
She came in, and this was actually somewhat like recently. I really was reflecting on it. I was just like, I remember why I wanted to start this with you. Like
that's so sweet.
I remember that fire. I'm like, oh, you're so good at like communicating with people. I'm like,
whole new level of
I
attraction.
was like, it's good to have you back, kid. It's
Yeah,
good to have you
sweet.
back. Yeah. And since then, like, I think Rev is an entirely new place than it was those first several years. And it's exciting. We talk about it all the time. We feel like we're just starting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That gives me chills.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned Lauren and Erica. Those are your business partners and family. So your sister, her wife. So I want to talk about the family dynamics in business from like you two are married and then also working with family members, you know, as co-owners.
Yeah.
Like, tell me all the things. Like, are there boundaries? Are there hard conversations?
Zero boundaries.
Zero boundaries. Open door policy.
Conversations,
nothing.
no boundaries.
Yeah.
The restroom with the doors open.
Like, did you know from the get-go? Okay, let's start with the two of you.
Okay,
Going into business together as spouses.
So
Were there reservations at all?
no.
Okay.
0.
You knew exactly this is where you were meant to be.
And we know that's rare. We know that's rare.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like, and to him, and to a lot of people, actually, it is the dream to be working with your partner if it can be in harmony. So we work really hard behind the scenes to be in harmony. This is like really hard conversations, like being really vulnerable, like all of these things behind the scenes that no one sees. They just see who we are and like maybe they just are that way. No. This is a lot of work in the making that has created that. And also like just the teamwork also after hours of like brainstorming, you know what that's like. Like that is to me the best feeling. And we can go on vacation and be like so excited to get back to do X, Y, and Z because we have new inspiration. Yeah. So that's an ideal for us. We love working together. He's an amazing business partner. My soul knew he would be good in business when I picked him. Like I'm so grateful I can like trust him, you know what I mean? And also like if I need a break, I know he will step up. Yeah. If he needs a break, I will step up. Like that is
so sweet.
It's the greatest. It's the greatest. And then go ahead.
No, the only thing I would say that is like we got super lucky that we found something that we resonate so deeply with. And like, you know, I'm wearing this Rev hat. You see me around Chattanooga 99% of the time. I'm wearing a Rev black shirt or a Rev hat. Like it's not because I'm just trying to be a walking billboard. It's more so it's just who we are.
It's your first baby.
It's who we are, and we just love it so much. And we go on vacation. Like it's impossible for us not to talk about it. And I think Courtney and Charlie are very from the Chattanooga Shoe Company. Yeah. Like I feel like they have a similar vibe as well. They don't like necessarily intentionally do that. It's just part of who they are. Yeah. They've become the Chattanooga Shoe Company. And so for us, when we go on vacation or do anything, it's like it's always coming up. It's just who we are. Yeah. Which makes it easier, obviously.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about the vulnerability and hard conversations behind the scenes. Like is like I was thinking about it. Like you do ask us as your client, you know, your clients or your patients to, you know, we have to be vulnerable with you guys. We have to have a certain level of openness to get something out of the experience. where do you draw the line with your customers or like with your outer facing friends, like with your vulnerability? You said a lot of it goes on behind the scenes. Like, is that for a reason? Like you keep that kind of trapped and safe? Or do you feel like you also are pretty open with the exterior world as well? Like, where do you draw the line there?
I want you to touch on that, but I do want to say we don't require anyone when they come in to be vulnerable or to share.
Okay, maybe then that was just me.
You were just open to it. No,
I'm just like
no,
that.
I just
You're
want to
right.
like really clarify
Yeah,
that because
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, what if someone doesn't want to share?
True.
So like some people have written novels on their intake forms
Right.
and we spend an hour talking about that novel and we love that. Some people write yes, no, not applicable. Right?
Yeah.
NA,
Yeah, okay.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And they're like, I feel this way. Okay, cool. And then I'm like, cool, this is what we're going to do. Awesome. And
Okay.
they still see transformation.
That's why a lot of
Interesting.
therapists partner with us because if you've read The Body
Interesting.
Keeps the Score. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like talk therapy is amazing to like open up this energy center, get clear, gain tools.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if it's in the body, it's in the body and you can't talk your way out of the body. So some people tell us their life story A to Z beyond. Some people don't say anything. Or if it's a child, they don't know what they're experiencing.
Right.
But the body knows and the body does the talking.
And
That's what's
true.
also, again, low point of entry. You don't have
Yeah,
to
that's
express
so true.
everything, which again is so great.
Yeah.
But as far as, I guess the question about, I'm actually a pretty vulnerable person and very open person.
Okay.
Like in the room, I can relate to people. I will share my own experience.
Yeah.
My body has been my greatest teacher as far as me as a facilitator. Like what I have been through and what I still go through, it helps me to relate to people. So
Yeah.
I will always open up and I will let anyone know anything. You know what I mean? But yeah, I guess I don't really know. There are boundaries, but maybe less than what you would expect
Yeah.
at a doctor's office.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not spilling
Normal people.
we're not spilling our guts and talking about the miscommunication me and Monica had last night and that
Or
we're
something so stupid.
Yeah. And we're also like I think that's something I definitely have learned. I wasn't super vulnerable in the beginning because I had to be Dr. Matt. I had to have all my stuff together, right? I think probably the last like 5-6 years though, I've really come a long way of like you can be sympathetic or you can be empathetic. Empathetic if you have that ability because you've gone through an experience and most likely because
Wow.
you're a human being, you have had similar experiences like meeting people where they're at and not to overshare. But I think people really resonate with like, oh yeah, this guy or this girl is like just this is a
understands.
normal person. He
Yeah.
understands and like it's not inauthentic. But I think that we don't try to necessarily like put on a face for anyone because
Yeah.
I think we talked about this in our jam session. People can smell that. People can see it a mile
Totally.
away. Like you don't have to act like you have all your stuff together.
Totally.
Anyone that has all their act together, like I don't quite trust
Yeah.
them all the way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to get back to the family dynamic with Lauren and Erica.
I would love to talk about
Okay,
that.
so
We have a lot to say about that,
I'm like,
Lauren and
so
Erica, if
okay,
you're
there
watching.
wasn't reservations when you two went into business together. Were there any reservations when you decided to partner with family members?
So they came in actually when I was out as well. So it was
Oh.
actually perfect timing. They were going to open in Nashville and it just wasn't like connecting or clicking. And so Lauren, called Matt one day. They both called Matt and I was nearby when they said it. And to me, it just felt like this natural, like,
Wow.
happening. Like
Yeah.
it felt like a happening, something we never ever expected. And it has been one of the greatest surprises, I would say, to add to our business. And it has been very like a lot of difficult conversations
Yeah.
again behind the scenes that no one sees. That's why people are like, how do you go on vacation together? How do you work together? And it's like, how do you do that? Like, do you
Yeah.
not get sick of each other? Yeah, sometimes we want space or whatever, but we work hard for that relationship and it is so synergistic because of all the work and the alignment that we're all in together, I would say.
So
But
it's intentional. Like you guys are constantly having conversations and meetings
Yeah.
and kind of setting expectations and boundaries. Like you've worked toward that. It
Yes.
hasn't just naturally happened.
I think it was somewhat natural, but it's an intentional thing.
Yeah.
And also too, they coming in, they got skin in the game so that our success is their success. If they were just employees, it
Way
wouldn't
different.
go as well.
Yeah.
So I think they have that skin in it. Okay, cool. So now everything that we talk about is like, how can we make this better? And from the conversations of challenging conversations or things that come up, like I've said this before. I have a Cuban mother and a Cuban family. Like us Cubans, we don't keep stuff in,
Yeah.
right? Like we talk about it, right?
Yep.
And so if I'm smelling something, feeling something, and vice versa from them, it's like let's put it out on the table
Yeah.
right now, and then it's like, oh, I wasn't ready to talk about this, but we're
Here
going
we
to talk
are.
about this. So
and the incentive is that it's actually like doing a disservice to Rev if we just hold it in and don't talk about it.
Your
So
body
actually,
speaks. Your body communicates.
Exactly. So that's like incentive is that like, let's just move through this so we can be better together.
Yeah.
Like that's really what it's about.
And also, like, just to put in perspective, it happens a lot less than anyone. Like, we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't happen that often.
It's not like you guys are constantly in conflict.
But when there is something to talk about, like, we talk about it, and she'll say, like, we ugly cry. We like say like, hey, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
I've seen you ugly cry.
I was trying to be inclusive. I didn't want to like point.
Yeah, it's a we.
Some people on the couch.
It's actually me and Erica are the we've ugly cried.
I can see that.
Many
the
times.
Cuban family, not so much.
But then, like, also, like, think about it. If you do work with family, like, I have a sister. I grew up with her 18 years living in the same house.
You guys have a lot of practice.
Like, like, I've thrown stuff at her, like some soft things, some hard.
This is probably a piece of cake. Yeah.
So it's like, we're talking, it's like, I'm feeling like a 12-year-old kid. I just want to get angry, So it's one of those things, like, it does bring up some older stuff, but also, like, what do we talk about? Everything that's ever happened is an opportunity.
Totally.
And so for us, what a gift, not only working with each other, but working with people that bring out this stuff in us to really heal through it. So like we feel like not only with the work that we do, but being in business, like we're moving through some stuff really fast and growing from it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, of the four of you, who's the client favorite?
Oh God! Whoa, dude! Okay.
I know. I'm like, wait. Now I need Lauren and Erica here. This feels weird.
You know what? You know what actually happens? It's like those like a course over 30 years to be like that we're tracking something like, oh, this guy takes the lead, but oh man, this one's coming. Like I feel like that. I think that all the ladies have gone like this. I'm always in the back here, but I'm a steady right behind.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm me. I'm solid in that. Yeah.
Hey, I will not make you answer that. I think that all four of you bring very unique just approaches and presences and vibes, and it wouldn't be the same without any one of you.
Yeah, and that's what we do. Like if someone, like I did an initial with you, but when you come in, everyone's supporting you. So that's intentional because it's also an advantage to your system to have different people holding space.
Yeah.
Something different will present itself in your body with Lauren versus Matt.
Totally.
So we really
I have
make
different
it
experiences with all of you.
very
when you
different.
guys all adjust me, it's a very different.
It's such an advantage though to do it that way.
And that's coming from like when people want just one single thing or one single person, and not to get too much into it, that's technically coming from a more finite place and a lower vibrational place, right? Because you're so attached to one thing. And we've had so many people, whether it's been seeing her, been seeing me, been seeing Erica or Lauren, it's like, oh no, I only want Lauren to adjust me. And then Monica adjusts. I'm like, oh, I had something come
like,
out.
no, you don't.
And then the next time they don't have that, so they're attached to it, where it's the work is going to meet you wherever you are. And like what you're going to get every single day is not that this person did this or this person did that. It's that your system on that day was ready for something different, some change. Just like, some workouts are like killer. I'm like, oh my gosh, I crushed that. And some days like, oh gosh, like I can barely lift anything.
It's not always you don't always need like a crushing workout every day. Your body doesn't need that certain times of the month or year or whatever. So yeah, that makes total sense.
And at the end of the day, the space that we've provided, and that does take it away from like where it was just me in the office. Like that was a different practice than it is now. So I'm probably the only one that can really say this. What that practice was, I saw miracles. I saw amazing things happen with just me doing it. So I pumped up my chest. I'm like, I'm Dr. Matt, I'm awesome, right? But what it is now with all of us doing it, like the transformations, the feel, the love, like the connection to our community, it's like 10,000 times better. So that's why I'm so happy, because I have that perspective of having both.
But people also say, oh, you guys are so different. And I'm like, I think it would be weird if we were all the same.
So weird.
That's my
It'd be like
now.
robots.
That wouldn't be as enjoyable, actually. Like,
and that's when we could do the double blind placebo study.
There you go.
We'd be robots.
Exactly. You'd be robots. Yes. Little aliens. Oh my gosh. Okay, so man, there's just so much I could talk about with you guys. Okay, so your journey. So do you guys like adjust each other? I've been meaning to ask you this.
No, we don't believe in it. We don't do it.
Okay, so do you do it at home, or like do you stay late, or like fill
we only
in
do it
when
at home, like very rarely at this point.
Okay.
We just feel like the space is the space, and it's just different there.
Okay.
Like I just say I prefer to be adjusted
in the
at
space.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are pretty consistent,
but I will adjust our kids at home a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just because like Rocky was sick last week, and so he's like with me. He has like a fever. I'm adjusting him, working with his body.
So good.
I'm not gonna like cart him to Rev in those moments.
Right.
But yeah.
Right.
And I think do we get adjusted? Do we get this work? 100%. I think this kind of translates into the conversation too about like people think that they need to come to us to help them heal all the time and that there's a certain place to get to. And I think that us being on the journey for like 10 years, it's easy to be like, yeah, I've come a long way.
Yeah.
Like I could maybe stop. But it's like if you went to the trainer or you started eating good and you've seen all these changes
And then you stopped.
and then you stop, like you're going to go back.
Yeah.
And we found ourselves going weeks to months not getting a sessions.
Yes.
And it's not that we're the same
Regressed.
person that we
Yeah.
were 10 years ago. What I've noticed, what she's noticed, what we've noticed is that, and this is what a lot of people end up like taking a pause, taking a break. Awesome. They need to do some other things in their life. And they'll come back and they'll say, I wasn't off the rails. I wasn't awful like when I first
Yeah.
started this, but now being back, I remember what this feels like. I
Yeah.
remember feeling super connected. I remember what it was. I wasn't snapping as much as my kids. And so like for us, it's like we just know we're better human beings
Yes.
when we do this on any somewhat consistent
Yes.
basis, just like the trainer eating properly.
And
So
I probably get adjusted once a week, I would say,
Yeah.
or every other week at this point. And people are like surprised when they see us on the tables. Like you probably come in and maybe Lauren's on the table. And
I actually don't think I've ever seen one of you on the table, which is
really?
weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
what I
happens
was
a lot.
wondering.
It's more
Like,
like-
do you have your own
we do it in
space?
our
You
off-
do this?
We do it in our
exactly.
off times when we're
Yeah.
not adjusting. Yeah.
And I'm proud when people see us because then they're like, oh, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
at this
You're walking
point,
the walk.
yeah, why I get adjusted is because I want to fully express all of who I am and
Yes.
like give my business, being a mom, like just a woman, my best effort,
Optimal.
basically. Yeah, just
Yes.
like, and that's how I do it. That's what helps me do it faster,
I love
basically.
it.
So like that's at this point why I do it. It's not for like necessarily symptoms.
Right.
If I'm having a symptom, I'm just out of alignment. So it's helping
Yeah.
me back in alignment
Yeah.
so I can be who I really am and more of it. That's my intention at this point.
And again, like our other conversation, we're on the journey along with just everyone else, right? We all
Yeah.
have stuff that we're working through and processing through. And I think with this process, like I've said this before, that people could integrate their life by doing 60-minute meditations if they didn't have a 9-to-5 job, they didn't have a bunch of kids, grandkids, whatever it may be, and they could go out into the nature every single day, right? That's not the world that we live in. So what we believe we do is provide people a space to collapse that time and to be able to get in that state of healing
Totally.
and coherence on a somewhat regular basis, right? So that's really like for us, that's why it's so key, because we just live in a chaotic world,
That's
and that's just the world we
exactly it.
live in. So
Yes.
we got to do some things to help accelerate that.
That's how I
healing.
feel. I feel so inundated by all the things I should and could be doing for my health. And I feel like coming to Rev is such a condensed, but like almost like big bang for your buck. Like it's the 30 minutes, but it just does so much in that 30 minutes that helps just, it's just so efficient, really. It's like, and I love efficiency. I'm busy. Like I want efficient, and it's magical.
I think it's also interesting. Most people start with like food and supplements, but if your nervous system has like, if it's basically out of balance, you're actually digesting and assimilating in that out of balance state. So like if you begin
doesn't
to
really
be
matter.
in balance, you
Yeah.
get the most out of whatever you're consuming.
Wow.
It makes more sense and you're spending way less money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Versus
expensive
a lot
to be
of people
healthy.
take a lot of supplements. They eat the best diet and they're still not
Struggling.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's the nervous system. So like let's start
Wow.
there. And then
Wow.
it amplifies everything.
I mean, we've worked with hundreds, if not thousands, of healthy people.
Yeah.
People that do work out,
Yeah.
that do detox all the time,
Right.
that eat good foods, they do all the things.
Right.
Yet something is still off. And that resonates with probably a lot of people that are going to watch this video or listen to this, because the nervous system controls everything. Mark Hyman, who's a big functional medicine guy, just recently, he's talking more about that. For years, he's talking about all the outside in stuff, the
Wow.
supplements. He's like, if you can't emotionally regulate, if your body doesn't feel safe, all this other stuff isn't going to work.
Wow.
So it is cool. I mean, several years ago, we learned that this style, this body work would be the medicine of the future, be the way people start healing.
Like 10 years ago.
10 plus years ago. And it's
Wow.
like,
Forget who said that.
Here we are.
Like, here we are, right? More people are opening up.
Dr. Oz or something.
yeah.
Someone really mainstream that. And we were like, we were just about to open. We're like, that's right.
Validation.
And now it actually is happening.
That's
like
so
it is
cool.
definitely happening.
Yeah, it's so cool. What's the best compliment you guys have ever received about your work?
I know, man.
This has changed my life, probably, I would say.
This is odd, but I feel so safe every time I come in here. Like, because again, you can't heal if you don't feel safe. And it's not that we're providing a safe, like feel like saying that hey, you're safe, everything's good. It's that they have enough trust in us through time that they can let go, because 95% of their body, their subconscious is tight, is holding on. Even if they don't feel it, they're guarding, and just allowing yourself 15 to 30 minutes to feel safe can do wonders for you.
So good. Both of those things I resonate with. Okay, we're going to move into rapid fire. I want each of you to answer these questions, okay? Okay. Just try it as quick as it can come. Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
Night owl, baby.
Okay. You guys are like opposite spectrum.
But I also wake up before her too.
Both?
Yeah, both. I'm like a both person
I'm a
too.
both.
I have like narcolepsy at night. I go to bed at like 9.
Okay, favorite way to recharge?
Being quiet and being alone and in nature.
Being around people. Actually.
I love it. So
Just
good.
walking the pedestrian bridge, listening by, and just be like,
Being Dr. Matt Smith.
I don't take the energy. I just pull with them.
Yeah,
I'm just we're
I love
amplifying
it.
together.
Oh my God. Okay, what's your go-to comfort food?
It depends on the day. I mean, like, is this like an indulgence thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I really like those. They're organic. They're like Ritz crackers with a cheese sandwich, like the little ones.
Oh, the minis.
It's deadly though. A
Organic.
box.
What brand is this?
There's a 365 one, and there's actually one at Trader Joe's.
Okay.
But I definitely wake up with like a hangover. But I need it like emotionally. That's probably
Sometimes you just need to
what
gorge.
or like freeze dried fruit.
Oh my gosh.
So random, I know.
It's either these avocado oil chips from Boulder Canyon.
Oh, they're
if
so
if we have
good.
chips
He's
in
a
the
chip
house,
guy.
I can't have them in the house. Okay, sorry.
The sour
we have
cream
them.
cheddar?
We have them,
God.
and then we don't.
Yeah.
we have them, and then we don't.
don't.
And then blueberries and peanut butter. Just
That's his thing.
Oh, like in a
day.
bowl?
Frozen
yeah,
blueberries.
sure, why not? Or frozen blueberries and peanut
yum.
butter. Yeah.
I don't. That's like my least favorite combination.
Well, because
Try
then,
it.
because then I haven't. She's like, your breath smells like peanut butter.
He's like in my face. Hey.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
enough.
That's hilarious. Okay, more likely to cry in a client session. Who's more likely?
I don't even tell you. I had something.
Yeah?
I don't try.
Whatever.
They'll say something, and like I'll just get this reaction.
You're like, I just allergies.
No, I'm just like,
I literally cried the other day. I had a woman who she's been coming and she was like, my grandmother raised me, and she was like, she passed away several years ago, but lately she's been coming to me in my dreams, and it's nothing like profound. It's just mundane. Like she's just there with me in the kitchen. She's there with me with my kids.
Wow.
And like I like literally, we were both just literally crying. It was like the most beautiful thing. Just like
That's sweet.
whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so Ty.
Yeah.
So me.
Which one of you is more woo-woo? Okay, Monica.
And what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by woo woo?
Yeah, yeah. Let's define
Yeah,
woo-woo.
I mean, in general terms, like more crunchy,
Yeah,
more
got it.
barefoot, you know. I just,
I say those things, and now I just do those things, but I
Yeah.
do it in a more modern way.
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
Keep the hat on, take
I
the
go,
shoes
I go,
off.
I go.
Appreciates the woo-woo for
I
sure.
walk out in nature without shoes, but I got like a nice, comfortable chair where I'm not
Yeah,
necessarily needing to lay
exactly.
down on the tree. Or
Yes,
I'm good.
understood. Balance.
Okay, Matt.
What is the last thing each of you Googled?
A camping tent yesterday or this morning.
I'm having a hard time. I Googled that same thing
Probably
afterwards.
crypto.
I looking.
You're not Googling. He's
Don't.
AIing. That's
Yeah.
Google's out. AI's in.
True,
Yeah.
true. That
Yeah.
was so. Wow, I need to get up with the times. What's the last thing you asked ChatGPT? Oh gosh. Okay, let's wrap it up. So, the number one thing you wish people would change about their lifestyle for them to heal.
Awareness. I think being more aware of yourself, your environments, like, and maybe even just being more curious about your life versus just thinking it's one way. Like that opens up the nervous system, opens up possibilities. Like awareness is the greatest gift
Wow.
towards healing, I would say.
I don't wish, I'm not trying to be whatever when I say this. I don't wish anybody do anything. Like I've really come to a place of not wanting anyone to have to do something. But I do think that more people need to tune in to their own self, because we are constantly running around. And my hope is that people realize that if they can just take 5 minutes out of their day and just focus on slowing down for a few minutes, take out the stimulation, take out the YouTube, take out the Google, the ChatGPT, the video, the Netflix, just spend 5 minutes of breathing, do that for 7 days
Wow.
and see what happens. See what happens.
Wow. I even need to take that advice.
And guess what? I do too sometimes.
Yeah.
It's because it's easier. It's just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy,
No.
right? And so you have to train yourself to make it part of your daily
habit.
practice.
Yeah. So good. Okay. Lastly, you two, I want you to fill in the blank. The heart of Rev is
Monica.
Got it. She's like, yes, I didn't have to say it.
We practiced that. Oh.
I'll say Monica, but the people.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, not me. Yeah. I guess that's so hard. I don't know. Yeah, I guess our community. Yeah.
I love it.
The space.
Because at the end
space we hold. I think it's like the space that's held.
Space we hold, the space that we have, the transformations, but it wouldn't mean shit if there wasn't people that came in there and had those experiences, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Love it. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for being on Heart of the City.
Thank you.